Welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I'm Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
And today we'll be beginning our coverage of Mega Man Battle Network for the Game Boy Advance, playing until we beat StoneMan EXE. But before we get started, how was everyone's week?
Man, we've been doing this for a while, haven't we? Even us new people have been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I can't believe I've kept up with something weekly for as long as my kids have been alive. And often it was like 4 times weekly. It's crazy.
So I had some annoying stuff happen at work and stuff that I don't want to really talk about because I'm secretive by nature and don't like complaining. I mean, I like complaining, but not publicly. Not for people to hear. But today at work, I was at the warehouse that our company rents space in, and the building manager was like, "Man, you are always working so hard. I'm going to tell your boss you need a raise." And I was like, okay. I don't think I'm actually going to get a raise because the building manager told my boss I need one, but it's nice that my hard work is being noticed and that's being passed along to my boss. I played a lot of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
I'm glad it's continuing to be good.
I don't know about that, but I'm continuing to play it. I shouldn't be allowed to play Persona or Muso.
Wait until you play the Persona Muso game.
The Persona Muso game is really good, actually.
I've heard.
It's not, although, from what I've played of it, it's not, and from what I know of the Muso franchise, to me it seems like it's not really a Muso game, it's just a regular action RPG where there happen to be a lot of enemies.
Okay.
You're not, like, capturing outposts and stuff so much.
Yeah. Which, the more we played of Drakengard, I realized Drakengard was the same thing. It smells like a Muso, but it's not very Muso-y.
Yeah.
Mostly because you don't get a single move in the entire fucking game that lets you kill more than one guy at a time, besides your dragon. Musos are all about like, oh look, here's 1,000 people. Isn't it awesome that you just killed like 6 people at once? And that one is like, yeah, you have a four swing sword attack and a shitty little fireball, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
I did like it, but like in a bad way. I love that game derogatory.
Well, I have a partner visiting right now. In fact, she is in my room behind me, laying on my bed. So that's nice. I'm trying to think of what else has been happening lately. I guess I'm really happy that last weekend probably because I had a 4-day weekend, let's be honest. I somehow managed to play everything I needed ahead of time for this and Tales of Podcastia for the coming week. So that's nice. I don't think there's a great chance of that trend continuing, but who knows?
Who can say?
Who can say, indeed. Yeah, no, things are mostly good. I did hit a point, unfortunately. I go through this cycle every so often where I'll be drinking soda like a mad woman, and I will hit a point where my body is resistant enough to it now that while during the day it does literally nothing, I'm still so tired all the time, and it doesn't keep me awake. But then I go to sleep, and it fucks up my sleep completely. I have dog shit sleep, which is the signal that I need to stop drinking soda for a little bit. So I'm doing that now. The problem being, now I'm sleepy all the time. I literally was napping when you were both setting up the stage to record. I was talking to someone and they're like, well, why don't you just like cut back on soda a little instead of just going whole, just completely going cold turkey. To which I'm like, that assumes I have the memory to cut down on things a little bit. Because I don't.
Yeah.
Because here's the problem with my ADHD is if I try to cut things down a little bit, I run into the problem of not remembering if I've done the thing or not already. Mm-hmm. And so I assume I probably haven't, and so I do it anyway. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, what sucks for me with stuff like that is the autistic black and white thinking makes it real easy to stop doing something. It makes it
Yes.
real hard to do something a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like I call it more than meat Mondays because I take Adderall and you have to have protein in the morning. And why would I have like beans or something boring for my protein in the morning when I could have bacon and eggs? So it's more than meat Monday, not meatless Monday like most people do. But like that one's easy for me because it's like on Monday I eat vegetables. That's the yes, I can do that. Throughout the rest of the week when I'm trying to just do more, maybe not doing so great.
I see your wisdom.
But I have had a very, very good week. And I told the two of you in host chat why I had a very good week. So you guys will know why it's hilarious that I can't talk about it because the person who I was going to coordinate the good news with called in sick today, so we couldn't have that meeting.
God.
So which is the funniest thing in the world, which we'll hear about later. But yeah, so that's on a tiny hold because that person had to call in sick today. But yeah, things are going great over here. It's also by the time you hear this, it's Girl Scout cookie season, so that's really exciting. I can't put the link in the show notes because Scarlett will get in trouble for it being just in a public platform. But I will put it in the Discord. So if you come to the Discord, it's private enough where she won't get in trouble. So if you want some cookies,
I might buy some Girl Scout cookies from her.
Hell yeah. Other than that, I have not been doing a lot. My week has revolved around my good news that I can't talk about, and that's about it.
All right, then. You know what's been really fun this week for me? Playing Mega Man Battle Network. That was my attempt at a segue.
I think it worked. I was expecting Sam to say something, but Sam is muted.
Yes, I muted myself and I mentally was like, Trish, you do the segue because my robot wife is yelling at me. And then you did. So
Yay,
it works out for me.
First, we need some history about Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah, so
how did this wild idea for a video game happen?
Well, I'll tell you how it didn't happen. It did not start out as a horror game.
Why did you say it like that?
Because all related Wikipedia pages to this game say it started as a horror game, and they cite an article in which they were like, yeah, we were trying to make a horror game and it didn't really work. So then we made Mega Man Battle Network, and all of them are construing that to mean that transformed from a horror game into Mega Man Battle Network, which it absolutely did not.
Yeah, there's nothing in that one interview to suggest that anything from, you know, they're spitballing ideas and have this weird idea for what could we do on the GBA? How about a horror game where it connects to a wearable device that measures your heart rate? Wouldn't that be wild? Nah, it wouldn't. Let's do Mega Man Battle Network instead.
Basically, yeah. So Mega Man Battle Network was developed by Capcom Production Studio 2. Had a bunch of people's names on the Wikipedia, so I'm just giving it to the sub team. I don't feel like reading a whole bunch of names, but the team was inspired by card games, which were in fashion at turn of the century, and also obviously the Pokemon series. And they wanted to cash in on that trend, but in a way that, quote, upheld Capcom's pride. They wanted to target modern children and to do that, they wanted to target a real world setting in a place that had a lot of access to the internet and had a lot of focus on technology, because us kids at turn of the century were very up on technology. They wanted to give the children in the game opportunities to interact with the world in ways that they might not have been able to in real life. So, like in 2001, kids didn't have cell phones. So they made a world where every kid had a cell phone. They also put the kids in situations that were a little more advanced than normal kid fare, and they referred to this design philosophy as standing on your tippy toes, which is adorable.
That's so great. I love that.
This is like all from that one interview where they said it wasn't a horror game.
Yes. Thank you, Wikipedia, for citing your sources incorrectly so that we could then read it and get good info for the episode. So Mega Man in this series has undergone a very distinctive redesign. He's officially known as Mega Man EXE, and the designer, Hayato Kaji, wanted to make Mega Man EXE easy for kids to draw so that they could draw fan art of their favorite character, which was very cute. Along those lines, where they redesigned all of the robot masters that returned for this game, but they wanted the robot masters to not all just be some guy, which is all they are in Mega Man. And so they completely changed how a lot of them looked, both for gameplay reasons of you don't want to just fight some guy as the boss for every single battle, but also so that returning fans would be surprised and delighted when like StoneMan shows up and he's a fucking castle and stuff like that. And the last cool thing that I didn't realize was the game was a launch title for the GBA in Japan, and was in fact at the reveal event. They had 140 Game Boy Advance stations for people to come by and play it, and Battle Network was on 2 of them. So they were hella launch title for the GBA, which is neat. It went on to have, I don't know, 5,000 sequels. All in like the next 9 years was just constant Mega Man Battle Network. So yeah, I think it did pretty well for them.
It's the classic Capcom formula.
Yeah, we will.
Did we find something that works? Let's do 1 billion of them.
Yeah, this is not a long cast. We will not be playing all 9 million Battle Network adjacent games. We will just be playing the first one. And Trish is going to tell us, of course. Trish will, of course, tell us what happened in this opening installment.
Oh, before we do, I mentioned I had some history with this series. Not this game, but the series that I did want to talk about briefly, which is just that when I was a kid, I was up in Oregon, which is a state away, for my older sister's wedding. And at some point we went to a store that sold video games, and I was looking for a video game to get. And I only had a Game Boy Advance. I didn't have a DS yet. And they had Phoenix Wright, and I was like, I did Justice for All specifically, and I was like, oh, that looks cool, but I don't have a DS, dang it. And I've been seeing stuff about Phoenix Wright on the internets. Too bad. Well, it's made by this company called Capcom. What other Capcom games are here? And that drew me over to Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue version. And that's how I got obsessed with this series.
I love wonderful. That Phoenix Wright was the gateway drug to Mega Man and not the other way around. That's incredible.
Now then, our story begins with one of our 2 heroes, Lan Hikari, sleeping in on a school day, only be woken up by our other hero, Mega Man. You know Mega Man. He's the blue bomber. He's the classic hero of so many... Oh, wait, what was that? Sorry, I'm focusing on the wrong timeline here. This is MegaMan.exe, who is not a robot, but instead a NetNavi. What is a NetNavi? Well, this is a universe where everything has a little computer inside it, basically. And a lot of them are connected together into the internet, and all virtual spaces are literal virtual spaces with locations and items, and the programs are cute little robot guys, and the viruses are monsters that attack things. So net navis are the avenue through which a human being interacts with this version of the internet. They're intelligent programs who are capable of acting on their human's behalf. In other words, it's like if your online avatar was a living being who could backtalk you for staying up late playing RuneScape. Lan is eventually roused from bed, hearing news about some group called World 3. That is, it's WWW. I mean, I remember the anime called them World 3, which is, I don't know what is actually canon with that, and I've never thought to look it up.
Yeah, Wikipedia says www open parent World 3 close parent. I'm like, okay, well, thank God I can just say World 3 on the podcast instead of having to say www repeatedly.
Yeah, 9 syllables versus 2.
They're out there committing crimes, but that's probably not important. After all, Lan is just some kid. Anyway, what really gets Lan moving is an email from his dad, who's apologizing for not being able to come and see Lan sooner, but as an apology, sends him some battle chip data. We quickly learn what battle chips are soon afterwards, when Lan and his friend Mail, don't know how to pronounce her name, her name is spelled Mayl. Milo?
It's Mail.
Mail? Yeah, Mail? Okay.
It's Mail. Everybody's name is a pun.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lan is obviously Land Connection, Mail for email. I get that, yeah. They walk to school, and they find out that their class is having a lecture about internet safety. No, not in the sense where they should be careful about giving out their personal information online, or about what links they should be clicking on. No. This is a lesson about how to fight viruses using their net navis. So the way the battles work in this game, combat works where every battle starts with MegaMan.exe is in the center of a 3x3 grid. Enemies have their own 3x3 grid. You only get to move on yours. You can't move on theirs. They can move on theirs. Can't move on yours. You are given a starting selection of some random battle chips from your folder, which is a folder of 30 chips you could possibly draw, like a deck of cards, and you start with 5 of them. You can select chips that have the same letter code, which go from A to Z, or chips that have the same type, like multiple cannon chips. After picking out your loadout, you are then given you then leave the infinite leisure time of a menu, and you're now in a real-time RPG. MegaMan.exe starts with just having his Mega Buster, which is very pitiful and only does 1 damage per hit, but all your chips are much stronger. Some of them are direct attacks, some of them will do support things, like claiming the enemy's grid squares as yours, or breaking holes in them, and others will just, like, heal you and stuff. As you fight, the gauge at the top of the screen fills up. Once it's full, that's an opportunity to go back and get more chips, though any ones that you previously did not choose are still there. You can also choose to take no chips, and instead you click the add to use up that time with no chips and then come back with 5 extra choices. Depending on how quickly you dispatch your enemies and how much skill you use in doing so, the game gives you a rank after each battle, which determines what kind of rewards you get. Dex, a classmate of Lan's, also has a net navi who likes to battle, who is named Gutsman.exe, which is of course based on Gutsman, the robot master from Mega Man 1. You can battle him if you want, but for right now, that is optional. After heading home from school, Lan sees a technician who's working on something in his house. But who cares about that? It's time to go get on the internet. This is way too representative of my own experiences as a teenager. And now. Anyway, you get to explore the net, find some goodies, buy some chips, earn some through battles, customize your folder a little bit if you want. But really the thing to do is there's the navi of one of your friends, whose name is Clyde. The navi, not the girl. Glide, not Clyde. And Glide is apparently based on a character from Legends, which I've never played. Anyway, he lost a program and you find it for him. But anyway, you head downstairs and... it seems that your oven is on fire and burning your house down. So, that's obviously bad. is also just one in a whole string of similar incidents, all caused by the red-haired technician from earlier, who actually works for World 3. You have to jack into the oven while it's on fire, so that MegaMan.exe can find the one who's responsible for this, FireMan.exe. Of course, another Navi based on a Mega Man 1 Robot Master. Taking him out stops the fire, because that is the kind of hell world this timeline has become.
Is there not like a fire department? And like partway through, Lan's like, "Oh, I'll go get my water gun and use it to spray water on the oven to douse the flames a little bit." And I'm like, but he only does this once the flames like start getting more out of hand. And I'm like, why wasn't this your first thought to do this?
Mm-hmm.
And like, why are we solving the problem by hacking the oven?
Because the oven has an evil net navi in it.
Could we unplug the oven?
No.
I guess it's on fire. That would be dangerous.
Anyway, that was a lot of excitement. Obviously, it is now time for bed. The next day, more shenanigans turn out to be afoot, as there is a new teacher at school who is helping your homeroom instructor, and his name is Mr. Higsby. He seems to just kind of be an awkward dork at first, but once he gets a chance, he ties your teacher up and hides her in like a break room or something, or a closet, and then he locks all of the students in their classrooms and starts blasting World 3 propaganda at them. It might be hypnosis, but I don't know. But apparently, there's something. Yeah, they've been mentioned that like this exact tactic has been causing kids around different areas to start committing crimes. It's very weird. It's like it's meant to be hypnosis, but like nothing's happening in the moment. None of the kids are like, "Yes, you're right. I must serve World 3."
I mean, if you talk to some of the kids as NPCs, they'll be like, "Oh man, I hate this, but it's starting to make sense," and stuff like that.
Okay,
there's some sort of brainwashing thing going on.
Anyway, once again, it's time for you to use MegaMan.exe to save the day. This time, though, Lan does a lot more than just using a squirt bottle. Every so often while you're going through the school's computer systems, there'll be an area that is password protected, and the doors have hints based on the state of the school itself. So Lan has to go around and find the answer to tell MegaMan.exe for the answer.
I know that probably a lot of places like, school networks and stuff probably don't have the best security, but all the passwords are 2 digits and have hints on them.
Especially because some of them don't have hints. They are just put it in and it'll tell you if you're high or low, or if you have a digit correct, which is like, that's horrible. That's horrible security.
And yeah, at some point during all this, you need a teacher ID card to get through one of them, and you save your teacher, and they're like, "Hey, can I have your ID card?" And as I recall, I don't think she's like, "Why?" She's just like, "Yeah, sure, thanks for saving me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if kid just saved you should probably ask, "Why do you want my ID card?"
Yeah. Anyway, eventually you find Higsby's Navi, NumberMan.exe. The first one so far, not based on any Robot Master from any other Mega Man game, just an original character. And you destroy him, and he is nothing but dust. And save the day! Now, this is where you learn that Lan's dad, who has been mentioned as having that program for upgrading Mega Man he wants to share with us, he works at a place... I already works at a place called Scilab. I can't remember if they actually call it that in this game, because I was just, as we're playing, getting into this part, and finding out they call it, like, government building or something here, because there's several other things here in this game, which it's never the case after this. This is the last time any of these other things are here. It's just Scilab after this game, but whatever. But anyway, to go see him, you gotta take the subway. Only issue, the subway is closed down because, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, apparently the system the subway uses for detecting rubble blocking the tracks can be fooled by digital rocks on the internet.
Something like that. it sounded like it was just like, there's a landslide, and they were like, well, let's get on the net to learn more about the landslide. But then, like, we defeat StoneMan, and I'm like, did that clear the landslide? Or what is it what you're saying, which actually makes sort of sense?
He put a digital rock on digital tracks. And that was, I guess, causing the sensors to be like, oh, the tracks are blocked. This is the future idiots who want the metaverse are after.
I mean, a lot of this just sort of feels like reality.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, you go to do that. But the whole thing is that where this is happening is in the second area of the internet, which you can only reach with a thing like a link or something from your friend Dex for some fucking reason that I don't know why that's how that works. I think that America, this is the only game where it works that way. Anyway, you gotta go beat him up, or rather beat Gutsman.exe in a fight, or a rematch if you were fighting him before. And then he gives you the thing which lets you get further in the internet, and then you find StoneMan.exe, based on a Robot Master from Mega Man 5 this time. And then you can use the freaking subway already. So next time we're going to do that, and we'll meet Lan's dad, and a whole bunch of other stuff is going to happen. But for right now, let's talk about our memorable moments.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of... I think we just need to address the elephant in the room. You do a lot of jacking in this game. And then at the end of the battle, you get your busting level.
Mega Man! Jacking and busting are the primary verbs of this game.
You get lots of lines like, there are lots of places you can jack in. Or the latest in video game systems, you can jack into it.
I do want to point out something, because we've been talking about the ways that this is horribly, if not prescient, at least reminds us too much of the world we found ourselves living in. I do want to point out one way it's, I don't know about more secure, but more silly and fun, is that it doesn't seem like Wi-Fi exists in the Mega Man universe. Like, when you go to jack in with your PET, the personal electronic terminal that Mega Man lives in, the little device, is a cord. You're literally plugging him in to a LAN adapter on whatever thing you're doing. So there's no internet for these things to talk to. It's all wired connections, which I guess makes it somewhat more secure? Question mark? It does raise some questions about why doing things on just the open internet can affect the subway, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know how computers work.
In 2001, we were on Wi-Fi 2, which was finally affordable, but it was incredibly interference prone. So it didn't get wide adoption until Wi-Fi 3 and 4 in 2003 and 2009 respectively. So maybe they just didn't have Wi-Fi at the Capcom, and so they didn't know it was possible for that to be a thing.
So there was brief mention of Glide, the NetNavi of Yai. I love Yai. She is she's a classmate of Lan's. She is very small and very rich, and she's sort of like your asshole rich classmate, but also she's nice.
Yeah, she has the vibe of an asshole rich classmate, but she's a good person.
She's like, oh, did you come to me for help with your PET? Okay, I'll help you out. But also she has a great line where she's explaining PETs. Is it PET or PET? Is there an official way to pronounce it?
PET.
Is it PET? Okay,
I
that's
think it's
so
PET.
confusing.
Let me go to Mega Man NT Warrior and see if I can find it.
Don't.
Well, anyway.
Oh God. Okay, go ahead.
Well, anyway, she's explaining stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I guess that must be an old type. Must suck to be poor."
Okay, you brought up Ed. So, for those fans who are too young or too old, I'm not gonna guess. Maybe it's the other way around. To not know what was just mentioned is there was an anime based off this game series called Mega Man NT Warrior here in the States, because it was dubbed and put on. I think Fox Kids was was what ended up getting it. Now the funny thing about that is because again I started the series with 3, and I did go back and play the other ones like via emulation, but 3 and 6 are the ones I played the most because they're the best ones. But I have gone back and played this before, and every single time I go to play this, because I grew up on that stupid show, that show starts out with Lan having a different generic net navi who is one of the ones you would encounter in the game, as just a random NPC on the internet, like a shopkeeper or something. And then he gets deleted, and so he gets Mega Man from his dad. And I always think that's gonna happen in that's how the first game starts. There's some explanation for how he has Mega Man, but no, it's just the game starts. He's got Mega Man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
there's nothing special about Mega Man. Probably. Don't worry. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah. So I am an avid Mega Man Legends enjoyer, and I did not remember Glide. And so I went and I looked up Glide for Mega Man Legends, and no shit, I don't remember Glide. This is the most not looking like his character out of all of the main characters. That is not at all what Glide EXE looks like.
Wow, he looks like such a douche.
Oh, he is. He's trying to flirt with Tronbon, but she's obviously in love with Mega Man and Roll. And so he's the smarmy little douchebag antagonist.
One thing I love about the Mega Man franchise is, in Japan, obviously it's Rockman, because the main characters have music names, and so we have Rock, and then we have female counterpart Roll. In English, it's like, oh, well, Rockman just doesn't sound right, so let's call him Mega Man. The girl is still named Roll. It's a really weird name.
We changed Blues. We changed Blues into Proto Man. But Bass, still Bass.
Yeah, Bass and Roll, I feel like they should have gotten name changes as well. Especially because when I was a kid whose main exposure to the word BASS was catching them in Animal Crossing, I thought it was Bass, and I was like, why is this guy named after a fish?
Oh, apparently Yai is also based on a character from Mega Man Legends. She's the easy quiz master at the school in Mega Man Legends too.
Oh.
Yeah. Just a fun fact I saw down in the trivia, and it's cool to see her in 3D.
So one thing I love and hate about this game is that one thing I love about this game is that every time you talk to someone, there's a little character portrait, and it's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
What I hate is that there is absolutely no consistent visual style.
No. Yeah.
Some of these NPCs look wild.
I hate that the default boy NPC is a fucking flappy mouth Simpson. It doesn't match anything else. Not even close. So most of the others are at least in the same ballpark, but the fucking little boy just grosses me out.
And then there are those small children with giant heads.
Mm-hmm.
And those girls with dead black eyes. There's some weird character portraits in this game. And then also when you have just a narration text box, the text is weirdly off center because there's still the space for the character portrait. There's a lot of writing in this game. You can interact with most things in the environment to get a little bit of text about them, which is great.
And most of them you can jack into, which is
you can jack pretty much wherever you want. You can jack in.
Yeah,
you can jack into a doghouse, a piano, a phone, an very old-fashioned looking telephone.
I forgot where I was going with that.
There's just a whole lot of writing in this game.
Oh, yes, there's a whole lot of writing, and a lot of it I actually really like. I find it really cute and characterful. They do also play it a little fast and loose with things like punctuation, which it's just funny and kind of charming and weird, but I'm really liking this game so far.
Yeah, it is. Like, I think it's one of the most breakneck paced JRPGs that I've played in a very long time, with the fact that, like, imagine in any of the other games we played last year doing 3 chapters in one short ass episode like today. Like, it is just insane how quickly things move along. Sometimes without you even realizing what's happening, like in the StoneMan chapter, where I'm just like, oh, I guess I saved the day. I was just surfing the internet, but okay.
Speaking of surfing the internet, wow, I'm bad at directions in general, and wow, the internet is hard to navigate.
It, like, you don't have a hub area. You start from either Land's PC, or as you get friends with more people, you can start from their PCs. But like the opening area is a fucking hard ass maze. I can never find my way to the real internet. Like, anytime I try and go in there, it takes me a good like 5 minutes to remember which way through the maze to get onto the internet proper.
You know, that's a valid point. I haven't had that issue, probably because I played so much Mega Man Battle Network as a kid that it's just burned into my skull at this point. But yeah, it is a weird little layout.
Yeah.
Also from that, I did want to say, I was worried going into this game a little bit, like, oh gosh, has it been too long? Have I forgotten how to play these games? And the answer is, no, it is in fact like riding a bike, and I have kept all of my skills, which is funny because this is the difficulty curves go up across games, and I jumped in as a kid at like where it's kind of one of the harder ones. And so going back to this one, it is just a general like, oh, this is easy mode. This is the baby game.
I also played the crap out of this game growing up. I did not have it on cart. I had it on Visual Boy Advance. And so I am having to switch which of my hands do the thing to re-access my muscle memory. So I'm like doing some things like, hell yeah, it's like riding a bike. And the other ones I'm like, how did I dodge the fucking cannons? Like, I would get up in their face and then dodge out of the way at the last second. I'm like, how was I good at that? I fucking get shot by the cannon every time I try and do it. It is
you posted
weird
maps, and I'm really glad you did, because these what I like about these is they have on them so a mechanic that I don't know if will ever naturally come up in the game, but so canonically, when you beat a robot master, a enemy net navi, they are deleted. They are now junk data, but they become internet ghosts who hang around, and you can refight, and they'll be stronger. And if you do, you can get a chip of that net navi, like them coming in to help you. And those are extremely useful.
Yes.
And like the farther you get in the game, like where we are now, we could actually go get, say, FireMan, his chip.
And I did.
I forgot to go back and do that, and I should. But like the farther we get in the game, the harder to get they are. And it's really neat. This map has like the locations for where they are, because I don't always remember that stuff.
Yeah, so I just looked at the map for Sector 2 where StoneMan was.
Oh, it's
Jesus
a nightmare.
Christ. This game also, like the brand of isometric graphics that they chose and landed on are wrong. This is not the way they should have designed any of these things, and it is a nightmare, and I don't think
this is a normal thing for kids to be expected to figure out.
Even with a map, this is like the kids menu maze from a sadistic restaurateur's establishment.
Yeah.
But I did get FireMan. FireMan's battle chip rules, and also I don't know if you can get it later, but there's a point where you can just during the second sort of episode, you can talk to Mail, and she'll just be like, oh hey, maybe Roll can help you out. Here's a battle chip for Roll, and Roll is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a standard great chip throughout the series.
Yeah. She does 60 damage, and you don't have to aim. They just have to be physically on the board when you do it. It's the only way she can miss. And she does 60 damage.
You.
and then also heals you. It is an incredibly overpowered chip.
Especially compared to Gutsman is also useful, but Gutsman is just he hits the whole field with shock waves, and he doesn't shatter all the opponent's tiles, but he like breaks them so that if they're there and then they move off of it, it'll be now an unusable empty space for a bit, which is very useful in some fights, but it doesn't do as much damage as rolls. There's a lot of fun. There's also a whole thing in this game where, as the game will hint to you fairly early if you ask the right NPC, there are things called program advances, where if you have the right chips with the right letter codes, which can be very hard because getting the right chip and the right letter code sometimes means grinding or spending all of your money at an online shop to get that code for that battle chip. If you use them in the right order in a fight, it unlocks a special only that round kind of chip. Like if you have cannon A and B and C, you get rid of those. Now you have Z cannon, and that gives you like 3 seconds of infinite cannon.
Wow,
That's wonderful.
I did encounter some dialogue with Yai where she was talking about something like that happening. Like she used 3 cannons and then something weird happened, but I never got it to work because I didn't know the details of it. I just got the vague hint. You want to know something fun about this game's battle system? The Wikipedia page for Mega Man Battle Network starts, Mega Man Battle Network is a tactical role-playing video game series.
Because Squares.
This is a tactics game.
This is Mega Man Tactics.
You know how this plays much like a Fire Emblem or a Front Mission or a something like that?
Obviously.
I'm just going to share for a second because we were talking about it. Here's, by comparison, to Mega Man 3's maps. They really toned down.
Yeah, I was just looking at that being like,
okay.
If I continue playing, am I going to have to deal with this? And the answer is absolutely not. They calmed down by Mega Man Battle Network.
The maps are much easier. The battles are much harder. The first boss in Mega Man Battle Network 3 is about as hard as like some of the end bosses of this game.
Well, I mean, the bosses in this game have not, like, I've had some fun with the battles in this game so far. Fighting Gutsman early on was fun. I was like, oh, this is actually neat. NumberMan, I did not take damage.
No.
Same, he's a loser.
StoneMan was also pretty easy. FireMan, I can't remember how much trouble FireMan gave me, but yeah, NumberMan was so easy.
He's only annoying in that he is very bouncy. Like, he's constantly teleporting around, and he only sticks in a place to attack you, which some of your chips are going to be much less useful. Because I think one of the fun things with the way they balance different chips in this game is generally you have start off with about half of your folder being chips that do more damage, the cannons, but they take longer to work. And if you're fighting an enemy that is faster, it's hard to actually hit them with it, compared to other things like a spreader or a cross gun or whatever, which are much faster but do less damage.
Yes.
Yeah. In a weird turn of RPG events, I thoroughly enjoy figuring out how to win each random battle, and the bosses are just things I do to move the story along. Like, I don't.
Yeah, no.
It's usually like, okay, let me mash A through all the Zubats so I can go fight Giovanni. And here it's like, Giovanni fucking sucks. These Zubats are where it's at.
The first boss in 3 is Lightman, and Lightman's whole thing is he has attacks that stun you and freeze you in place. And as a first boss, that's annoying, and he's still the easiest boss in the game.
Jesus.
Beastman is a beast.
I like the idea of having a fucking annual series like this that's like aimed at 11-year-olds, and so it's real easy at first, but then by the time you're 14 you better get good.
Yeah, like we're just gonna keep, it's like they're boiling the frog with difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is wild how many Mega Man Battle Network games there are.
Yeah.
So from 2001 to 2005, they released 6 numbered entries, as well as 2 platformer action games, and a couple weird spin-off things that I don't really know what they are. And that's just the Battle Network series.
Yeah.
And then after that, they did 3 yearly Mega Man Star Force games, which are some sort of follow-up to that.
Yeah, I never played those.
I played them and I really liked them. They are Battle Network, but you're over Mega Man's shoulder, so you look forward into the grid, and I thought it was really cool.
Interesting.
Got to use the 3D graphics of the Nintendo DS Entertainment System.
Absolutely. I'm excited to play more of this weird little game. And
Me too.
It is a little game, so we'll probably be announcing our next poll next week.
Yeah, I think we all will. Yeah.
Yeah. So look forward to that. If you want to vote in that poll, you can head on over to www.rpgbook.club, where any and all donations will help us offset the cost of running the show. And if you donate $1 or more a month, you can vote in the polls to choose what we play next, as well as get access to our bonus feed, which is filled with after shows for every episode and bonus seasons of the show, such as Tales of Podcastia, The Escape Pod, and the JRPG Canon. So if you up your donation to $5 or more each month, you can also get your name read at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shouts to Dragonslayer19, Freddie Rodriguez, and J Fro Prime. And if you really love us and you want to up your donation to $20 or more a month, you can get a short 1-sentence shout out or advert read at the end of each episode, a little like this. Shouts to Keldranas, who says to check out Podcasters Assemble. It is a documentary style, crowdsourced movie hype and rewatch podcast. Every season, podcasters from around the world are assembled to review, reminisce, and riff on a popular franchise. Shoutouts to Vimke, who says she'd sat back down on her awkward throne of rocks and balanced her watch between her knees, staring at the tiny mechanical hand that counted the minutes. And then shoutouts to It's Clear Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. For RPG Book Club, I've been Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
Toodaloo, folks.
Bye-bye.